Hi friend, welcome back to another video. I am very excited for the content of this video because it is all things pumpkin. I felt like it was totally appropriate as we are at the end of October now. I have been waiting all year long for this season to come around and I am fully embracing the last little dregs of it as much as I can. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of nutmeg in the bowl. 1 teaspoon ground cloves. Okay, with all that's fallen in, I think that should be good. And it says sift, so I'm just gonna layer this over. A teaspoon of ground ginger. Oops. Drop that in. Perfect. And then it's 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. I love cinnamon, so that works out well. Sift that again. Perfect. Also gonna need a teaspoon of salt, so let me add that. This is where I always have an issue. The recipe says sift together the flour, spices, salt, and baking powders into a small bowl and set aside. Well, I have baking powder and I have baking soda, as you saw, and nowhere else in the recipe does it say to use the baking soda. So this is me guessing that it means all baking things, but this is a British recipe. This is from the UK. So it says bicarbonate soda versus baking soda. So this is where I overthink everything and then nothing works out. But if I don't put baking soda in the cake, then it's not gonna come out, right? It doesn't say anywhere else to put this in there. So I'm assuming, and I really hope that's right. I mean, in the electric mixer part, I'm just blending the butter and the sugar, which is the next step, and then adding in the eggs, which is the rest of the ingredients besides the icing or the cake icing that we're making later on. Oh, this is hard. This is really hard because I don't know. We're just gonna take a guess. This could be the downfall of it. Hopefully not, but maybe. So going off of that, I'm gonna do teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoon of baking soda. This is actually the last of it, and I'm happy because I've had this baking soda for far too long. Okay, and then it's 2 tablespoons of baking powder, which seems excessive, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna follow the recipe as it's given to me. 1, 2. Sip that again. I need to measure 500 grams of all-purpose flour because everything is in grams. And this is not a knock on anyone other than America. Why don't we use all the same? Why do I now have to figure out what 500 grams is? I feel like it's bigger than that bowl. It's gotta be, right? Let's just use the bowl that we're using. And then if that's wrong, then that's on me. Okay, let's sift that out. Yeah, that's 400 grams. I just wish we were all on the same page. It does say plain flour, but I looked it up and it said all-purpose flour is the equivalent to plain flour, so I'm gonna go with that and hope and pray. It looks really pretty though, it looks like snow. Okay, I'm gonna count that as 100 because it was showing up as 100. And then I'm gonna put 100 at a time in. I think that's best case scenario. Then we're gonna do that again. Dump. Okay, so now we have 200 in there. Okay, this is all 560 grams. It actually looks really pretty. Now we're gonna do 400 grams of granulated sugar, and then we also need some brown sugar. Okay, 400 grams. That seems like so much. On the dot. Beautiful. Okay, 10 tablespoons of brown sugar. Hopefully we have that. Here's one. butter. What does it even look like? That's 52, so a lot more of these. What did I say, 220? Oh, amazing. Okay, so I just need to cut off 6 grams of this one. That's about a tablespoon. Perfect. Okay, 220 grams. It's gonna go in here, and we're gonna use an electric hand mixer and mix until fluffy. I'm gonna pop these in the microwave so they're softened a little bit. I'll whisk this together. Starting. Okay, I'm gonna count that as light and fluffy. They're not quite at room temperature yet, so I'm gonna hold them in my hands and pray that they get a little more room temperature. Okay, we're gonna add in the egg now. Just one. And I'm gonna mix this in. Texture, that's awesome. Okay. Now, number 2. Oh, I love that. Okay. Number 3. That one's a little easier to come out. And look at that. That's like when you're actually, you know, creaming the butter, as you've seen me do horribly mainly on this channel. But that looks gorgeous. Okay, last one's going in, and then we're gonna add the milk and the pumpkin puree. Beautiful. 360 ml of milk. There's 300, 350, 360. And then we're gonna slowly add this in there, I think, to not overwhelm it. Listen, I love her, but she underestimated the size of my tiny bowl when she suggested a tiny bowl, because this is too much inside this little bowl. Consistency looks like curdled milk now. Okay. Doesn't smell bad, but doesn't look good. There's the rest of the milk. Mix that together. Okay, so we had to make a quick trip to the grocery store again because I had one of these, you remember from the last video. I guess I didn't store it properly, and so it had like probably this much of white mold on it. So I just got a new one. It needs 800 grams and there's 822 in here. So I'm gonna pull out 22 grams and then dunk this, because the next step is to mix it with this. The little bowl is getting too full, so I'm just gonna plop it in here and then slowly mix in from the other bowl, and then we'll just put it in a cake tin. I don't have 3 like it says, I just have the 1, so we're just gonna keep one comes out of the oven cold, stick it to the side, fill up that cake pan, repeat. So that's what we're gonna do. It says be careful to not over mix. So I'm gonna just get this a little bit combined in there so it's not that big of a shock. And then I'm just gonna keep doing that for the rest of this. Okay. Now we're gonna start slowly adding in the other pot. Oh wow, that's gotten weird. Okay. I don't see this going well, if I'm honest. try to cut this nicely. I don't like greasing my pan, so I'm just gonna do this. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I need 300 grams powdered sugar, 500 grams of butter, and milk, plus 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay, we're in a bit of a time crunch, so that time. There we go. Okay. All the butter. And it says a splash of milk, so. Also, it doesn't say what attachment to use, so I'm just guessing. Actually, it says a dash, so I think a dash is a little bit more than a splash. I don't know. Hoping for the best. Here we go. This is after the first 200. Here's the final bit going in. Okay. It did get kind of everywhere, but that's okay. 1, 2. That one did split. That's okay. Sorry for the lack of audio. My friends came over at this time and we just started talking, so I figured it would be less annoying of me to just put it on silent and then talk over it. But as you can see, I'm literally just adding the 2 layers. So this cake did make 3 layers, but there was only going to be like 5 or 6 of us, and I was like, there's no need for us to have 3 layers of cake. So I split it up between 2 days because we had 2 events that we were hosting that week. So we had the double decker for Bible study that I'm cutting up here, and then we had a girls' night, and I just did a single layer, and it was so stinking good. I recommend this to literally everyone now. I stand by this recipe, and I'm so happy that I made it. Now back to the video. Okay, so today we're obviously on a different day. We're gonna be making pumpkin snickerdoodle cookies. I have a client who loves cookies, and I haven't made him any in a really long time. And I have so much pumpkin left over, so I figured, why not? You know, I will be working at a different location tomorrow where he's usually at, so I'll be doing that. And yeah, let's just get into it. I don't have anything else to say. Actually, I lied. We're gonna go over the ingredients very quickly here because I am looking at this recipe for the first time. So we're gonna need unsalted butter, sugar, light brown sugar, pumpkin puree, egg yolk, vanilla extract, all-purpose flour, pumpkin pie spice. I have pumpkin pie spice. I thought I bought pumpkin pie spice, but I only have pumpkin spice, I think it is. I don't know. Baking soda, cream of tartar, and salt. And we actually have cream of tartar by accident. So that's great that that worked out. And it seems like it's gonna be like a one pan fits all. I know that's not the actual term, one bowl for the actual recipe. I'm just thinking of like pan recipes I find on Pinterest. But we are gonna be, it seems like just kind of leaving everything in the same bowl, and then these are gonna be all of our ingredients. Love. And then this is leftover cake from last time. We're still eating. It makes a massive amount. I highly recommend it, but let's get started. The first thing we need to do is get half a cup of butter. Half a cup of butter and melt that, and I know that's 4 tablespoons. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna put this in the microwave. Let's cut it again so it melts easier. And then we need to let it cool and then add all of the things together. I'm thinking like 45 seconds, let's see. Okay, first caveat I found to this recipe. The first step is to melt the butter, which we did, but now I have to wait 10 minutes for it to cool, and I only have a 30-minute lunch break. So let's fully put this, how long does it say? Let's fully put this 20-minute prep time to work, because that's all the time I have. Oh my gosh, okay, let's see. I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes and then we'll be back. About a minute left on my timer. So I'm actually gonna add the other bit. So it needs half a cup of sugar, 1/3 of a cup brown sugar. There you go. By the way, it's 3:18. So I'm gonna time it and see how long it takes me until we're done with this. Okay, now it's time to put the butter in. And then I'm just gonna whisk that together. Gorgeous. Okay, let's put the pumpkin puree in. I'm just gonna stir all this together. It's a beautiful color. We are gonna be adding egg yolk and 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. My friend actually sent me this recipe and she said she uses a full teaspoon, so I'm just gonna do that. And I'm gonna trust that that is okay. Egg yolk. Okay, I'm gonna add the teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then I'm gonna mix this all together. Wow, it keeps getting prettier color-wise. So I need a separate bowl, and we're gonna do 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Here's the one going in. Okay, and then 1.5 of a teaspoon pumpkin pie spice, but again, like I said, I only have pumpkin spice, so hopefully that's okay. It didn't come with like a strainer thing on top, it's just like bare. So we're gonna count that as the 1, and we get a 1/2. Okay, and then we need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda going in, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This 1/2 teaspoon is really getting used up. Okay. 1/4 teaspoon cream of tartar. It's a powder. Okay, I was not expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting tartar sauce. I'm gonna be honest. That's exactly what I was expecting. Here's 1/4 teaspoon. Whisk this together till it's combined. Start adding these in. A little bit at a time, it says. Gonna mix it with a spoon. See if that makes a difference. It might not, I don't know. My lunch break is now over, so we'll be finishing this later. Wait, I just read the instructions and it says just to cover it with clear plastic wrap and put it in the fridge. So we actually finished in just the perfect amount of time because I took it at 12:01. Yay! Okay, prep time is correct. I just did a taste test of the dough because you have to. You have to whenever you're making something. And I just tasted the dough and it tastes really good. I'm just gonna cover this with plastic wrap and then afterward we'll come back and bake these. My sweet husband saw we were out of plastic wrap and so he went and bought some, but he bought the same one that I hated. So now I have to wait until we finish this one until I can get an actual plastic wrap, so I think I'm gonna do what I typically do, but just cover it with my Banneton. Oh no. That might not work. Or will it? Ooh, it might. Okay. Perfect. I mean, it's not perfect, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the fridge. We'll be back in a few hours. Also, I got this from Dollar General. I didn't even know Dolly was at Dollar General. Are you kidding me? With the butterfly? So cute. Oh my gosh. It was like $5 maybe. I don't even know. $3. She's just so cute. Officially later. We're gonna get that preheated. Okay, now we're gonna grab a 1/4 cup here. And then teaspoons of cinnamon. And I think this might be the last of my cinnamon, honestly. There's one. Perfect. 2. And then whisk this together. Okay, it says to do 1.5 tablespoons, but I don't know if you can tell, but this is teeny. And I also have this one. You can see, this one's massive. So I'm trying to decide which one I'm gonna use. This is how they're looking. They look pretty good. They kind of look like munchkins from Dunkin'. Put these in the oven, I think for 10 to 12 minutes, and then we'll come back. I am kind of going against the recipe just a little bit because I have a little bit of extra dough, and I feel like this would be really good with some chocolate chips, so I'm gonna make one extra with chocolate chips. Same way, put in the cinnamon sugar, roll it around, just see. Because I imagine like it smells very Christmassy. I know it's pumpkin, so that's weird, but it smells very Christmassy, so I'm wondering if like for Christmas time you could alter this recipe and add like chocolate chips, or you could add caramel to it in some way, like stuff it, or you could do cream cheese. Like my brain is starting to twirl, and I want to see if it's even like a recipe you can alter in any way, you know. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add the few little chocolate chips in here and then bake it off. It's just like, if you did never try it, you'll never know, you know. So I'm gonna add probably about this much. Just stick it on top. And look how cute. Like he's so cute in there. I don't know. We'll see. Might not close. Let's see. My gosh, they're massive. I was not expecting that. I'm gonna give it another minute because it still looks like they might not be fully baked, but I'm so excited. Don't look at that, it's dirty. Look right here. Look at that. Here's my little baby. The color's really good on them. I like the crackles. You can see the cinnamon sugar peeking through. Cute. There's my little guy.